Hello amigos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about another World Cup qualifying round with Mexico versus Costa Rica at home at the Azteca as well. First game at home for ages. Um, yeah, it was pretty disappointing. You know, I think a nil-nil draw, especially a terrible one, is only half a step up from a loss. Thank God Mexico didn't lose this game though, but where to begin? Obviously, I think it's very side to side, very slow. Um, Mexico started the game pretty well. They came out the box, they really fast. They troubled Costa Rica for the first like 15 minutes or so. Tricky especially looked like he really wanted to go, but he ended up knocking the ball over the crossbar like 12 times. It's crazy. Tecatito I thought was alright as well. Very technical, very quick, and um, like I said in the last video, I think he's almost back to his old self. He just needs to get his end product back. Um, there's not much it really. Ochoa did alright. Had a couple of pretty decent saves. Um, excuse me, and that's it really. I can't really say that anyone else had a good game. Um, I mean, it's a game that Mexico absolutely needs to win. USA got smashed by Canada a couple hours before, so it would have been nice to get a win because then we would have gone second with a couple of points to spare. Instead, we got a draw, so now we're right in the middle of it, which is not where you want to be. You want to be where Canada is, like several points clear. So um, it's not looking good so far, and I think the issue is the team selection. Having said that, um, people crying out for Arteaga and Julian Araujo to start, which I would like to as well, but they wouldn't have got us the win. Um, Arteaga came off the bench in this game and played pretty decently, in my opinion, way better than Gallardo did anyway. Um, but they wouldn't have got us the win. The problem with Mexico at the moment is offensively. Just no answer to not having Raul in the squad. Tata seems to love Funes Mori for some reason. Funes Mori, for me, has done pretty much nothing for the Mexican national team ever. I mean, he scored maybe a goal or two, but like he's had loads of games for Mexico now, and he's not done anything. And I think it's time to let that thing go now. Henry Martin, I mean, he scored against Jamaica. Would he have scored today? Who knows? I think he might have had a bit more of an opportunity than Fernandez Mori did. But basically, I think Tata got it wrong with the lineup. It's weird to say because you what you expect Tricky on the left and Chikatito on the right, on the front three, and I expect Hacha to be in the middle, alongside Edson Alvarez, and maybe this time it's Charlie Rodriguez, but the midfield was alright for me, to be honest with you. People slating Herrera for some reason. I'm just like, I don't know why. He had a really good free kick. He had a really good header, I think, at one point. So he came closest to score as well. So I thought we had a decent game. I don't know why people don't think that. The whole team basically didn't really play well. It was just, for me, he was the one that was trying to make things happen, and it was a little bit selfish on occasion. I'll concede that point. He took a shot a couple of times where he could have really laid it off to someone else. It's very weird. Like Mexico at the moment will just get to the opposition box and then just pass, side, and then somebody will just out of nowhere just launch it. Just have a shot, but it will almost always just go skyrocket into the atmosphere. It's just very strange. The offensive play of Mexico is very slow, very lethargic, very painful to watch. To be honest with you, I mean, Costa Rica players can just stand in their area and just watch. Oh, he's passing this way. Oh, he's passing that way. Oh, he's passing back to that way. Passing, and then it's very predictable and very, I would imagine, very easy to defend against. And Costa Rica were defending for their lives. Um, Blatantly, the away team in this game, they played like it. They, solid at the back, but then tried to counter a couple of times. Um, Joel Campbell had a bit of a quiet game, which was quite nice. Um, but yeah, for me, it's the team selection. Like I said, I think my personal opinion, I think Gallardo, Chaco Rodriguez, they're the easy targets. I have to admit, but it's for a reason. You know, people bang on about them all the time for a reason. You know, those of us that watch the games day in day out, watch every single game. You know that Chaco Rodriguez is probably going to do a howler at some point. Um, his passing is a bit, his passing is alright, I guess, but he doesn't offer anything offensively or defensively. And there was one GIF, um, Brian I think posted on Twitter, where Edson Alvarez at one point had to go and make the actual tackle because he was just running back. You know, he seems to be scared to make the tackle sometimes. Um, they shouldn't be playing anymore. Like, bro, I mean, I know Jorge Sanchez I don't think was available for this game, but just throw Araujo in. At least he'll be hungry and he'll be driven to do something, and he's, you know, got the um, impetuousness of youth, I guess, where he's not really going to be afraid to go in for the tackle or afraid to make the forward runs. Um, I think it's time for a change. You know, it's been time for a change for ages. Every fan knows it. Gallardo shouldn't be playing left back anymore. No offense to him, but go back to Monterrey, bro. Like, that's where you belong. Um, I think it's Arteaga's time now to be the starting left back, and I think he would have done better had he played the entire game. Obviously, I think Jorge Sanchez is now should be the starting right back with Junior Naranjo challenging him, and I mean actually challenging him, actually getting game time to challenge him. I don't expect Naranjo to start, but I do expect him to start the next game because Chaco was just terrible in this game, and Jorge Sanchez is not available. So, um, yeah, so those two players. Bye bye. Thanks. See you later. Funes Mori as well. Like I said, that experiment, as I saw somebody else on Twitter saying, in the experiment of Funes Mori in the national team should be over with now. Like, there's enough games in there now to know that he's probably not going to score a whole bunch of goals for Mexico. Um, so you take him away, and who you've got left? Henry Martin, basically. That's it. I mean, if Raul Jimenez comes back from the last game, it'd be quite cool, but Mexico struggled defensively with Raul Jimenez, you know, in the last few games, especially in the last round of the qualifiers. So even with Raul Jimenez back, it's, you know, the the spark seems to have gone between Jimenez, Tecatito, and Chucky. But I would like to have seen Jimenez play now because I think Tecatito's on his way back to what he used to be, and Chucky is obviously flying with Napoli at the moment. So it could have been a quite good front three this month, but obviously it's not meant to be because Jimenez has got this injury. So then who else? You know, for me, Henry Martin's alright, but I'm not. You know, I'm not expecting him to score a whole load of goals for Mexico ever, in my opinion. He'll come up with the odd goal and then the odd important goal like he did last game, which is fair enough. But he's not going to bang goals and goals and goals. And it's like it's that age-old argument of like, imagine if Chicharito played. And you know he's flying with Galaxy, although they're in their off season. Still I believe. But mate, why not bring Cheech in? Like, what else do you have to lose at this point? For me, Chicharito right now is better than Funes Mori right now, so it's a no-brainer. But obviously, there's something off the field that's happened that we all don't know about, and that's stopping him from going back. So, um, then who you got? You know, JJ Macias is not playing for Getafe. He's probably going to come back to Chivas. So, would I be happy with him playing in the national team? I mean, from his youth perspective, yeah, sure, but his form is horrific and non-existent at the moment. So striker's getting a bit of a problem for Mexico at the moment. I don't think Vega is a striker. He's a number 10 in my opinion. He's a number 10 and he can do a job on the left wing. That's it. I don't think he's a striker, which is gutting for me because I think he might have made a really good striker for Mexico. Um, then who else you got? I mean, Santi Jimenez. Okay, cool. But he's super young, super inexperienced. And you've also got Santi Munoz as well, who by the time he ends up playing for Newcastle, if he can, he might be in for a shout as well. But Tata doesn't seem to like young players. Um, he has his idea of his first 11. You can always tell what his favourite first 11 is. It's pretty much this one. Maybe except for Raul instead of Funes Mori, but still, that's pretty much his favourite starting lineup. Um, and you can tell that because he's refusing to start Azteca, but I think Azteca coming off the bench, at least for me, shows that he's willing to put him in. But Julian Araujo is not going to play right back for a while, except for next game. Obviously, because he has no choice for next game, unless he plays Chaka there. In which case, like I don't know why, because everyone can see just how. I feel sorry for Chaka because he's a human being and he's playing for his national team, which is every footballer's dream should be, but he's just making mistakes constantly. It's like he gets the ball and you're just like, no, what's gonna happen? Um, and I think it's time for change. You know, but we've been saying that for like a year now, so nothing's happened. So yeah, super disappointing. Still third in the spots. I think could have been second, 2 points clear, but that's gone now. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next game. Um, Obviously, lineup wise, and if we get a win and a USA sits up again, or if Canada, I mean, Canada's pretty much gone. I mean, Canada would have to lose like 2 or 3 games in a row now to put their position in jeopardy. I think they're pretty much nailed on um, qualified people now. Um, so it's all going to be that second spot, and mate, it's going to get hairy now. We need to win this next game to be in a somewhat comfortable position. But if USA loses the next game and we win, that's great. But if we lose the next game and USA wins the next game, it could be. It's gonna get really quite scary now, and it's real now because it's like, mate, we're staring at the fact that Mexico maybe might not qualify, which is unthinkable, really. Mexico always deserves to be in the World Cup, but this team, even the players that we think are good, Tecatito, Chucky, Hector Herrera, Cesar Montes, they all seem to be just off. There's something not quite right. I mean, it showed up a little bit in the Jamaica game. Obviously, we banged in 2 goals in a couple of minutes, but there seems to be something really off, and it's been continuing since 2021. I mean, Rizzo tweeted out saying that 2021 Mexico is back and it's still here. It's true. Like something's going on, and you have to point at the coach. These players are suddenly just like crap for the national team, and they're doing alright for their club teams. Well, most of them are. Chiggy is, Raul is, kinda. Um, yeah, it makes you wonder why it's not clicking with the national team, and it has to be Tata. Whether it's coaching methods or whatever, I don't know. But there's something off, and I think managerial change is looming. And you can tell that because of how animated he was on the sidelines at the moment in this game, and especially the Jamaica game when the goals went in, he was celebrating more than we were. So it's like, yeah, bro, because your job's on the line, and he's starting to realise now that maybe I'm not doing that great. Um, I mean, some people are questioning whether he actually wants to be a Mexican coach. To be honest with you, um, doesn't seem to be enjoying it. It doesn't seem to be succeeding in it. Um, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't want to go wanting too much, but a disappointing game, really. Absolutely brilliant opportunity to get one over on the US. Get a couple of points clear, get kind of second spot almost nailed down. But now we're in the thick of the things that we don't want to be in the thick of, and it's going to be frustrating and scary, especially the next game because a lot of riding on the next game for me. If we win the game comfortably ish, then fine. Fair. Yeah, to be fair, I'm be happy with the win, whether it's a 1-0 at the last minute or whatever. I don't care. We need 3 points this game because that's the position we're in now. We need to start winning games more regularly, um, and catch up with Canada, and obviously beat down the US because USA played crap against Canada, but they're still a decentish team. Um, and Mexico not going to the World Cup is just unthinkable. So yeah, not very good watching. don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you. I mean, even if you put Bauer in there today, I think it still would struggle. There just seems to be a creative lack of spark or an energy at the moment. Individually, players will get to the box and they'll have a wild shot and stuff, but there doesn't seem to be an actual plan of, hey, let's get the ball into the box and then have a shot. It's just tippy tappy for 20 minutes and then, oh, screw it, I'm just going to have a wild shot that's blatantly never going to go in anywhere near the goal, but let's just shoot anyway, just to end this monotony of just passing it around. Um, I think at one point Costa Rica from their box, I think it was two passes into our box in literally like 30 seconds. Not even that, probably like 20 seconds. From one end of the pitch to the other pitch, and then they got a shot off, which Ochoa had to save. And I remember thinking, that's not what Mexico would have done. Mexico would have passed, slowly, to allow the Costa Rica teams to get back in their position. There's no urgency, there's no speed, there's no coordination either. They can't seem to pass it to each other in the box, they can't seem to set up each other's chances for each other. Um, and, that one play, it was like, mate, Mexico haven't done that for ages. They haven't got the ball from their goal to the other goal in two passes, quick, really expensive football, and then have a shot on goal. It's just pass, and then wild shot, and then that's it. And it was just evident, and it happened so many times in this game, and it's worrying, to be honest with you, because it's like, well, mate, you're training with these people. You're. It's not like they can show up and then they play a game and then they go away again. They train with each other quite a lot. The national teams right now. Um, there's plenty of chances to develop a relationship with people and um, tactics and stuff, and it just doesn't seem to be working at the moment. So, anyway, guys, that's my review for the Costa Rica game. Hopefully, the next game's going to be better. Um, at least it wasn't a loss. It was a loss. If it had been a loss, that would have been terrible. Um, but they were able to draw, and a really bad one as well. It was a game that we should have won, and we could have won if we'd just been playing better. So yeah, we're on to the next one, guys. In a couple of days. So let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know who you thought was good and who you thought was bad. Would you want to see Azteca and Araujo starting next game? Which they probably will. I think they have to. Gallardo and Chaga have had their chance and they blew it. So again, and who do you think would play striker if Raul Jimenez is still injured next game? Do you want Henry Martin? He's pretty much the only choice, really. Him or Findes Mori. So it's not looking good up front at the moment. So, and would you have Cheech back? Like, the serious question. I mean, I'm talking as a Chivas fan, as a Chicharito fan. I've always loved Cheech, even when I wasn't a fan of the Mexican national team. Way back in the day when he was playing for Man United, he was the player that I wanted to have instead of Danny Welbeck. When Arsenal signed Danny Welbeck, I would have rather have had Chicharito because he was more experienced and had more to prove. Um, but not even talking as a fan, just as of, looking at the stats and how he's been playing with Galaxy and how Funes Mori has been playing with Monterrey. There's no question that Chicharito is the better player and has been always. And would you have him back? Do you think there was any way that he could come back? But anyway, let me know in the comments, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.